guys, and welcome back to this one. And this time around, we're just going to be transversing through, the function and looking at our debugger to see how this stuff actually interacts with code, how the code runs, and how we end up with a true or a false for the balanced operation. Now we are at the printing of this guy with our distance, so we step into it, and then we could see immediately that we have a node, right, whose value is a. So we have this is our node right here. So we are going to be checking if this is balanced, as well as other guys that precedes it, and how if they are balanced. Now we check if this is a none. Obviously it's not, but we check for the condition, and if it is, we return -1 and this. So we go to the left, and immediately we go to the left, we hit into it, we see that we go to b. That's the left node, right? As we could see here, the left node, right? And then we go through that, and we hit it anyway again, and we go to the left node of b again, which is what d, the left node, and we could see that here again. So that's the process. We are going down that stack tree, and then we see the left node is what, the left node of this what, none, and the right node of this none. Basically this will return us height of -1 and -1, and we could see that here when we hit play, and we we kind of see these values right here, right? And then yeah, we see those values right here, and we see the -1 and the -1 on the right node and the left node, and we'll check for the balanced. Now we've checked where I hit play. We went through this guy, which was checking if the node dot at index of 1 was true or false, right? If it was to be false, it will return the height we found here, right? And it will return that height we found there, because we're obviously now right now at the node of d, and our height would be what, -1 minus -1. The maximum of -1 is what, -1, and plus this right, because we see here -1, and plus the get height, which is 1, plus the 1 here rather, we get 0. So our get height right now would be 0, because boldly see that here and here as well. So we go ahead to solve that to get the height. And basically for balance, we check the usual culprit. If the left node at -1 and -1, right, which is at the index of 0, is less than the minus. So basically if you have -1 here and -1 here, that will give us 0, because -1 plus sorry, -1 minus -1 is going to give you 1 plus 1, -1 plus 1, which is would end up giving you what, 0, which is less than 1. So balance is met. So we return the get height we have here, which is 0, and return balance, which is true, to the stack above. So we continue this process for b. We'll just go through, we just see that left node has returned us 0. So when we play through, we go to the left node of e, right, this guy over here, because we've gone through b. Now we're now going to e, which is now the right node, right, of b. And when we play through that guy, we see that our left node gives us -1, just as before, because of it's a non-value and a non-value. And then we just go through that space to return us the balance of true, and we are back to b, where we can now compare the two heights of 0, because this will return us 0 here to b, and this will return 0 to b, and we can check our get height, which should give us 1, right? So we see 1 here for the height of b, and then we'll go ahead to do our normal checks as we've done before, right? If not, if we have a false, we should return false, but since we don't have, we check the balance remains true, because 0 minus 0 is less than 1, so we are golden. So we continue. So we're now back at a, right? At the left side of a, we see that our node holds 1 and true, so we are now going to go to the right side, which is going to push us into c. C has, as we can see here, has a none and a non endpoint, which we've gone through before. So we are just going to breeze through this and return a back. And now at a, we've seen that we now look at the height. We have a height at 2, because we just calculated that here and updated it to 2, and then we come back to check if not false. But obviously we are not going to be getting a false, because what we have here, or what we had here, we could see that we had the height of 2, but our left node was returning us 1, and our right node was returning let's see what our right node was returning is 0. So by the time we checked that the maximum was 1, we added 1 to it, gave us 2. We have got our height, and we couldn't return a false, because you could see here the right node is true, the left node is true, so hence as well with this condition couldn't be met, so we can scale through. We check for its balance is 1 and So we see here one is true, one and true for the left node, right? One and this thing, 0 for the and true for the right node. What do? We check 1 minus 0, which is 1, which is still less than or equals to 1. Literally it's equals to 1. It meets the condition. So balance is true. We get our height and we can sing kumbaya and drink lemonade. So basically that's the run through, and we see how each traverses, and basically how we basically go through the recursive stack to bring us our answer. So that's it for this one. Muchas gracias. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Ciao.